everyone, welcome to our latest video in the Head in the Cloud series hosted by Citrus Global. Here with me today is Ramya Ashok, who is the Head of CloudOps at Unzer. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Ramya.
Hi, Robert. Thank you. So I'm Ramya Ashok. I'm working as a head of DevOps and site reliability engineering team, which is called CloudOps at Unzer. I recently joined 3.5 months back, I would say.
Quite recently then. Okay. So it's definitely been a testing year for everyone, hasn't it, this year? It's been, I think, it's fair to say that we're living in a future history lesson. How has it been for you, and how was lockdown for you, Ramya?
Well, in the start, I would say it was like very difficult. Like it was super difficult for me because the crippes being closed and my son being at home. He is 1 year old, and then also working from home on meetings. It wasn't quite good, but it has definitely helped me to unveil my inner potential. Like I think like every other person who was in lockdown.
Of course, no, it's definitely been a testing year for everyone in some way, shape or form. What were the main frustrations that you encountered?
As I told you earlier, it was the same, that there were some virtual meetings, so everything became virtual. So there were a lot of meetings, and there is a background noise from my son every time that I'm unable to present something in the meeting. And then I realized later, it took some time for me to realize that everyone are in the same shoes. So I started feeling a little less guilty. So that was one thing. And then the other one was having this personal contact with the team members, like something that we could speak about in a smoke break or a coffee break. Like we have to set a meeting and then check if they are available. And this was like the main problem.
I definitely understand that. Yeah, for sure. Have your priorities now changed or altered at all?
Yes, definitely. I would say specifically when it comes to my team, it was like in every meeting I would say, okay, have you finished this project? Has it been done? And so on. But now when I see if somebody's it's not in the usual energy, then I just call them and then I ask after the meeting, are you okay? Everything is fine with you? So this kind of priority in the team culture is also changed, and also the work-life balance,
Yes.
So somehow because we are working from home, we don't have this restriction, and we end up working longer, and this is happening. So this work-life balance has been a basic priority. Like
I totally understand.
Lockdown, I would say.
Yeah, I mean the positive aspect is you've got more time. Well, you think you've got more time because you're not commuting to to your job. Like for me in London, half an hour, 40 minutes each way. That is so. But as you mentioned, sometimes it's like you work through your lunch. You look at the time and it's like, oh, it's 2 o'clock and I've not even had any dinner yet or lunch yet, and it's crazy. But I do understand what you mean there. Yeah.
Exactly.
What would you say the biggest lessons are that you've learned throughout this year?
I think without any doubts, I think all of us has learned a lot of lessons in this situation. The first one, as I told you, is like the work-life balance. That like how important it is. Like I didn't give much importance to that before, I'd say. The second is that it's also something which I mentioned some time back, that about this mental health of the colleagues, like just keeping a check. I realized it very late that just asking if they are okay had a very great impact on the synergy in the team. Like how it was. And the last one I would say is that how we adapt to the situation, that we had to think quicker, faster, and so on. So these are 3 things that I learned, I would say.
Interesting. Yeah, I know what you mean about being adaptable. A few people have said that as well now. So you have to be, don't you, in situations like this. What would you say? Well, what are your thoughts on maybe expecting a bounce back in the economy?
I would say that it's already much better than what it was in the beginning of the year. Like slowly everything is bouncing back.
Yeah.
And also there are a lot of markets which are getting up to speed, and they are utilizing this as a very good platform to develop their products and coming up with new strategies. Like they are using it as a very good platform to build their product, I would say, like, so yeah. It's been like there were some downfalls, but on the other side, it's also booming. Like it would be much better. At least we are prepared now.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, the fact is, like, because we've experienced it already, now people sort of know what to expect, and there's a lot more trust in people to work remotely and get on with things. The world doesn't come to a standstill.
Of course, it could not get any worse.
Yeah. What do you think is here to stay now as a result of all this?
Stay along. I think the change which is happening constantly. I think that's the only thing that would stay.
Yeah. What about maybe like remote work? Like, do you think quite a few more people would be expecting to have that option to work remotely now more often?
Yes, like definitely. I think even the job description and the opportunities now are more remote. Like even the people like who had problems that they could not commute or not spend much time have an opportunity now to work and so on.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's going to open up, many more doors for certain companies and allow them to get, I suppose, that better talent or that high quality talent that they may not have been open to working with before. What advice would you give to businesses moving forward? So from all the things that you've learned this year, what would be the main bits of advice that you would give to businesses?
I think just using the opportunity that comes, like just grabbing the opportunity that comes. I think a lot of companies have done that, like quite recently, I would say, especially with the Zoom, Teams, and Slack. It's like a tremendous improvement and updates that they have given in the past few months, and like they have really used the opportunity so much, like just quickly grabbing the opportunity and adapting to the current change. I would say like that would be the future goal for the businesses.
Okay, no, interesting. Yeah, for sure. And what would you ask of a modern talent partner in the new normal?
Well, I think you already mentioned that sometime back, like the quality, like the quality of the roles that we have right now, like because of the time constraint and a lot of other criteria, they were not very visible in the past. Like, but now I think it's much more flexible. I mean, the whole opportunity itself is much flexible now. What I would request is that, like, to give a quality profile that would be quickly able to adapt to the changes on the technologies. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Very much so. Well, look, thank you very much for your time and, taking the time to be a guest on the Head in the Cloud series. I know we've been in correspondence for a while now, and, for yourself, it's been an interesting year. You've changed jobs throughout this year, and how was that for you, moving and starting a new role remotely?
Well, I basically go to office time to time. I'm in this mode that when I meet people, I get to finish things faster. So I still work from home time to time. Sometimes I go to office. So it has been challenging, but yeah, a lot more to come.
Of course, yeah. It was nice to have that balance of the option to go in and things like that. Okay, cool. Well, look, thanks so much for your time today. As I said before, being a guest on Head in the Cloud series, hopefully we can have you as a guest in the future for a similar series. But is there anything else that you would like to add finally?
Well, no, thank you. Thanks a lot for your time as well. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, well, look, thanks again, and I wish you the best of success for the rest of the year and in Q1 next year too.